The Epstein Files divided by two. Pam Bondi does the expected. This is Law and Society. Please subscribe. Last month or 2 months ago, I made a video about what we can expect. I think it was right after the Transparency Act was signed that I made the projection that now what the Republicans had done was essentially take the Jeffrey Epstein issue and the cloud hanging over them and pass it over to Pam Bondi to handle. And the way that Pam Bondi would handle it is by opening investigations into information from the Epstein Files, and nobody knows what those investigations will be or how long they will take. And she will shield the disclosure of a substantial portion of documents that would then become part of an ongoing criminal investigation or ongoing investigation by the Department of Justice. Now, that is exactly what has happened. And first of all, because they have released about 3.5 million files, including thousands of videos and pictures that people are going through. And then they have, Todd Blanche has also come out and said that this tranche of information that has been made public is their last batch, despite acknowledging that there are about 6,000 files that pertain to Jeffrey Epstein. In that regard, Todd Blanche talked about protecting the victims and highly sexualized material, as well as information that is being used for ongoing investigations. And that's what I said that they were going to do. Now, this is not a measure of justice for the survivors and the victims of Jeffrey Epstein's diabolical sex ring. Because in a lot of the disclosures, the government actually disclosed the names of some of the survivors. And I hope that these survivors are going to attorneys to see if they have any legitimate cause of action for the disclosure of that information. While many of the people who are in them are extremely powerful people, it also goes to show that there are others who are incredibly influential and in the government who have the power for the Department of Justice to be pressured or by Pam Bondi to willingly help them out by shielding their information from the public under the guise of ongoing criminal investigations. So I think this is all we're going to get. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, representatives in Congress, are pushing for the unredacted files. Members of Congress have that power to ask the DOJ for files that are required. And I don't know how 3.5 million out of over 6 million qualifies as substantial compliance with the Transparency Act when it says all files have to be disclosed. Now, will all files be disclosed? Probably not. Are we going to find a lot of incriminating, gross, creepy, evil things from the documents that have been released? You betcha. And, I started reading one of the documents, and it sort of had the issue of sexual abuse and sexual assault I have some personal issues with that, and so I couldn't keep on reading. And I can't get myself to start reading about these horrific incidences other than to say that they're evil. Anybody who goes through sexual assault, sexual abuse, sexual molestation, sexual violence, it is very difficult for that trauma to be healed. And that is why the survivors needed all the information to come out so they could hold those who abused them and took their innocence and hold them accountable. But that doesn't seem like what Pam Bondi wants done. I think she has now washed her hands, and anybody who says that they haven't complied with the law fully would have to just take it up to a court and see whether DOJ's compliance with the Transparency Act actually complies with what the law says. And Congress has that power to go to the judiciary, to the courts, and ask them and tell them that no, we don't think that this is substantial compliance with the law, and we need more documents to be released, if not to the public, but to Congress to review. So keep calling your representatives and push them for at least them getting the full Epstein files so they can do what is necessary to hold the people accountable in the Epstein files. With that said, thank you for listening. I will talk to you soon.